The Great Galactic Council floated high above the stars, a ring-shaped station orbiting a dying sun. For centuries, it had ruled over hundreds of alien species, guiding peace, trade, and exploration across the known universe. But deep inside its polished metal walls, not everything was peaceful. Rumors had begun to spread, whispers about a forbidden world, hidden from the Council's maps, a planet that had once been marked unsuitable for contact. Its name was Earth. No one truly remembered why Earth had been erased from the star charts. The archives said it was due to extreme planetary instability. But the whispers told another story, that something powerful lived there. Something the Council feared. When 3 Council spies went missing during a secret mission to that forgotten planet, questions arose. The Council had expected simple silence from them, not complete disappearance. Now, new eyes had been chosen to uncover what really happened. Agent Kara Venn, the youngest intelligence officer of the Council's observation unit, stood before the tall silver doors of the high chamber. Her reflection glimmered on the metal surface as she waited for access clearance. The sound of her mechanical breathing mask filled the quiet hallway. She was nervous, not because of danger, but because of who she was about to face. High Consul Drazan, head of all Council intelligence. When the doors opened, the room revealed a wide space filled with transparent screens showing maps of galaxies, data streams, and intercepted transmissions. Drazan stood near the window, his long cloak glowing faintly in the reflected starlight. "Agent Venn," he said in a calm, deep tone, "you've been selected for a special mission. I trust you understand the gravity." Kara bowed slightly. "Yes, High Consul. Is this about the missing team?" Drazan's sharp violet eyes turned toward her. "Indeed. They were investigating a forbidden system, the Sol system. Their last transmission mentioned anomalies on the 3rd planet, Earth," Kara whispered. "Do not speak that name too freely," Drazan warned. "It draws attention. We must know what happened to our spies and what this planet hides." He turned toward a floating hollow image. 3 figures appeared, the lost agents. They were the best we had. Their signal was lost near a human ruin, somewhere on the northern continent. What we received before the silence was strange. He pressed a button and a faint recording played. The audio was filled with static, but a few words came through. Human words. "They are not extinct. They're watching us." Kara's eyes widened. "Humans survived? That is what we must not assume," Drazan said coldly. "You will go to the Sol system under cover, accompanied by a small crew. Gather evidence, report directly to me. Do not engage with the inhabitants. If you find traces of the old spies, retrieve their data." "That is all," Kara nodded. But as she turned to leave, Drazan added quietly, "Be careful." "Agent, the Council erased Earth for a reason." 3 days later, the stealth cruiser Vanguard drifted through deep space, invisible to scanners. Kara stood on the bridge beside her crew. Lieutenant Arix, a tall reptilian pilot with calm golden eyes, and Tech Officer Luno, a small, 4-armed being who could fix anything faster than a machine could. The ship's navigation system beeped softly as they approached the blue and green sphere of Earth. "There it is," Arix said, his tone quiet. "Looks peaceful." "It looks like any other living planet," Luno replied. "But if it made 3 trained agents vanish, peace is only an illusion." Kara nodded. "Begin descent. Keep the cloaking field active." We land unseen. The Vanguard slipped into Earth's atmosphere like a shadow. Storm clouds covered their entry, hiding them from satellites and radars. As they passed through layers of thick air, Kara looked out at the planet below. She saw vast forests, oceans, and ruins of what seemed to be cities, broken towers half swallowed by nature. "Scanners show minimal technological activity," Luno reported, "but there's strange energy beneath the surface. Not natural." "Can you locate the missing team signal?" Kara asked. Luno tapped rapidly on his device. "Yes, weak trace near the northern ruins. It's fading, but still there." "Then that's where we go," Kara said. "Prepare landing sequence." The Vanguard settled in a dense forest near the ruins of what once was a city. The air was filled with mist and quiet rustling leaves. The team stepped out, their suits glowing faintly under the cloudy sky. The silence was heavy, broken only by the hum of scanning devices. Arix crouched near an old metallic sign half buried in dirt. "Strange symbols," he said. Kara brushed away the moss. The faded letters read, Seattle. Human language, she said softly. They called this city Seattle. As they walked deeper into the ruins, the feeling of being watched grew stronger. Broken windows reflected their movements like 1,000 eyes. The smell of old rain and rust filled the air. Luno's scanner beeped. The lost agent's signal is close, about 50 meters underground. There must be an access point, Kara said. She searched around until she found a cracked steel door leading below. Here, let's move carefully. The team entered the dark passage. It led to an old metro tunnel, half flooded and silent. Water dripped from the ceiling. Strange glowing marks were drawn on the walls, human symbols but not like the others. Eric's ran his claw along one mark. These look recent, he said. Someone's been here. Then Luno's scanner beeped again, fast and loud. Motion detected. A low sound echoed through the tunnel. At first it seemed like wind, but then it turned into a mechanical hum. From the shadows, lights appeared, 2 blue circles moving closer. Then came the shape of a machine, tall and human-shaped but ancient, covered in moss and metal dust. It's a human construct, Kara whispered, still active after all this time. The machine paused, scanning them with a soft light. Then a voice spoke from its speaker, slow, calm, and human. Identify yourselves. Kara froze. This is Agent Kara Venn of the Galactic Council. We come in peace, the machine tilted its head. Council. Not authorized. Leave this planet, Luno whispered. It's using defensive protocol. We're looking for our missing people, Kara said gently. They came here weeks ago. The machine's lights flickered. They found what should remain hidden. They were warned. What did they find? Eric's asked. The machine did not answer. Instead, it turned its head toward the tunnel behind them. You are not alone, it said. Then, before they could react, it powered down, collapsing into stillness. Kara turned quickly. A shadow moved at the far end of the tunnel, fast, silent. She raised her light. Something, or someone, slipped away into the darkness. When they finally reached the chamber where the signal originated, they found the wreckage of a small council probe and 3 empty suits. The bodies were gone. Only the helmets remained, placed neatly on the ground in a circle. In the center lay a black cube, the mission recorder. Kara crouched and lifted it carefully. This must contain their final log. Luno began decoding it on his wrist device. After a few seconds, the cube projected a faint hologram, a recording of the missing team. Their faces were strained with fear. They're not gone, one whispered. Humans? They're still here. They've changed. They can see through our systems. Static filled the rest. The recording ended. Kara stared at the silent cube. They can see through systems? How? Luno shook his head. Impossible. That means they've integrated with the network itself. Eric's frowned. Then the planet isn't abandoned. It's alive. Kara felt a chill run through her. She looked around the dark tunnel, at the broken walls and the flickering lights of their scanners. Somewhere above, thunder rolled. She spoke quietly, almost to herself. If the humans survived, and if they know we're here, then they're watching us right now. Outside in the forest, a hidden satellite dish turned slightly toward the ruins as if listening. Somewhere far away, deep beneath the earth, lights came alive, blue and bright, like eyes opening after a long sleep. The hunt had begun again. The ruins above Seattle were silent again, but the air carried a strange tension. The mist seemed thicker now, as if the forest itself was holding its breath. Agent Kara Venn stood beside the shattered entrance of the tunnel, her eyes scanning the gray sky. She could still feel that same cold sensation on her neck, the feeling of being watched. Behind her, Lieutenant Eric's checked his weapon systems, though they hadn't come to fight. Tech Officer Luno was kneeling beside the black cube recorder, his fingers flying across glowing keys on his portable console. I finished decoding the last layer of the cube, Luno said. His voice trembled a little. There's another file inside, locked with human encryption. It's very advanced, more than what the Council recorded from any human civilization before their fall. Kara frowned. Can you open it? I can try, Luno said, but I'll need time. Maybe a few hours? Do it, Kara ordered. Meanwhile, Eric's, scan for any life forms within 50 kilometers. Eric's nodded, activating his wrist scanner. The screen flickered with blue waves as it reached out into the world around them. For a moment it showed nothing but birds and small animals, but then a sharp spike appeared on the display. There, he said, pointing to the signal. Something large moving fast and maybe a kilometer west. Too fast for normal life. Kara turned to Luno. Pause your work. We'll check it out. But the data, it can wait. If something's tracking us, I want to know what. Luno hesitated but followed as Kara and Eric's moved out of the tunnel and back into the misty forest. The trees stood tall like silent guards, their wet leaves glowing faintly under the ship's hovering light. They moved carefully, weapons lowered but ready. Every sound, and from the rustle of branches to the distant call of a bird, made them alert. Soon they reached a small clearing where the ground was covered in old concrete slabs. In the center stood an ancient communication tower, half collapsed and wrapped in vines. Broken dishes and cables lay scattered around. This must have been part of Earth's old network, Kara said, stepping closer. Maybe it's what's sending those strange signals. Eric's scanner beeped again. Wait, the source is active. There's power here. Luno ran to a rusted control panel half buried in dirt. He brushed away the dust and connected his device. Incredible. This tower is still transmitting something. A repeating code. Same structure as the message from the missing team. Can you translate it? Kara asked. I think so. It says, "We see you." Stop digging. The words made Eric's tense. That's a threat. Before Kara could answer, the ground beneath them trembled. A deep rumbling vibration that made the tower's remains shake. Birds scattered from the trees as the sound grew louder like heavy engines turning far below. Movement underground, Luno shouted, staring at his scanner. Multiple signals approaching fast. Kara shouted, "Fall back to the ship!" They ran through the forest, dodging fallen branches and slippery rocks. The ground kept trembling as if something massive was crawling beneath the surface. By the time they reached the landing site, the air shimmered, and then cracked open as several metallic drones burst out from the soil. They were small, spider-like machines glowing blue from within, and their movements were smooth and silent. They circled the team like predators. Eric's raised his blaster, but Kara held her hand up. No, let's see what they do first. The drones didn't attack. Instead, one projected a holographic image in front of them, the face of a human. It was a young man, dark-haired, wearing what looked like an old Earth uniform. His eyes were bright, almost glowing. "Who are you?" Kara asked, stepping closer. The hologram smiled faintly. "You are not welcome here. Your kind erased us. You watched us fall and turned away." Kara frowned. "That's not true. The Council believed your planet destroyed itself. We came to investigate what happened." "Investigate?" The hologram's tone darkened. "Your Council sent spies to erase the last proof of our existence. And now you send more?" Eric's growled softly. "We're not your enemies." The hologram stared at him with something like pity. "You don't understand. The moment you stepped on this planet, you were seen. Your ship, your systems, even your thoughts. They are not hidden anymore." Luno whispered. "He's inside our network." "Return to your stars," the hologram continued. "This world belongs to us now. If you stay, you'll join the others beneath the ground." Then, without another word, the image vanished. The drones went still for a second before sinking back into the earth, leaving only silence behind. For a long moment, no one spoke. The wind moved through the trees, carrying the faint echo of the hologram's voice. Finally, Eric said, "So they are alive. The humans survived." Kara shook her head. "Not just alive. They've changed. They're using technology we don't understand, merging with machines, maybe even with the planet itself." Luno looked at her. "If that's true, then Earth is no longer just a planet. It's a living system." Kara turned to him. "What about the encryption you found in the cube? Could it be connected to this network?" Luno nodded slowly. "Yes, if I can unlock it, it might tell us what the first team discovered before they disappeared." "Then let's return to the ship," Kara said. "We need to send this information to the Council before it's too late." Back aboard the Vanguard, the crew worked quickly. Luno connected the black cube to the main console, lines of green code flooding the screens. Eric's kept watch outside, scanning the forest. Kara watched the code with unease. "How long before you break through the encryption?" "Almost there," Luno said. "Just one more layer." Suddenly the ship's lights flickered. A soft voice echoed through the speakers. A human voice. "Why are you trying to open what you do not understand?" Kara froze. "Luno, shut it down." "I can't," Luno said. "It's overriding the system." The screens changed. The Council's logo blinked once, then turned into static. Out of the static came an image and the face from before, the same glowing-eyed human. "You didn't listen," he said calmly. "Now you will see what your spies saw." The view outside the ship's window shifted. The forest around them began to move, not the wind, but the trees themselves. The roots twisted and the soil opened like breathing lungs. Beneath, faint blue lights pulsed, spreading outward like veins through the land. "What is this?" Eric shouted. The human's voice echoed again. "This planet remembers. Every signal, every life, every betrayal. You erased our name from the stars, but Earth remembers all things." Kara tried to regain control. "We didn't erase you. The Council lost contact centuries ago. We thought—" "Your Council feared us," the voice interrupted, "because they saw what we were becoming." The ship shook violently as one of the roots slammed against its hull. Alarm screamed. Eric's gripped the controls. "We're losing power," Luno yelled. "Something's inside our system." "It's rewriting our data." Kara took a deep breath. "Emergency takeoff, now!" The engines roared, fighting the pull of the living ground. The Vanguard lifted slowly, struggling against unseen force. Below, the blue lights burned brighter, forming symbols that looked like ancient circuits spreading across the forest floor. Then, just as suddenly as it began, everything went still. The root stopped moving. The light faded. The hologram's face appeared once more on the main screen, calm and expressionless. "You cannot win a war you already lost long ago," he said. "Leave this place. Do not return." The signal ended. Silence filled the cabin. Kara's breathing was heavy. "Luno, report." "I managed to cut the connection," Luno said weakly. "But the data cube is gone. It burned itself out during the hack." Arix turned from the window. "They let us go. Why?" Kara looked out at the quiet planet below. "Maybe it's a warning. Or maybe they want us to tell the Council what we've seen." For a long time, none of them spoke. Then Kara whispered, "Whatever happened here, Earth isn't just a world anymore. It's something else, something alive, and it remembers us." Outside, as the Vanguard rose into the upper atmosphere, one small light flickered deep below the clouds. A silent signal sent into the void. Far across the galaxy, the Council's deep space receivers blinked to life. Someone or something on Earth was calling them back. Far away from Earth, at the shining core of the Galactic Council Station, the news of the Vanguard's return caused unease in every corner. High Consul Drazan stood in the Council chamber, looking through the great glass dome where thousands of stars glittered like frozen sparks. He had just received a report, a short encrypted message from Agent Kara Venn. The message was simple. "Earth is not dead. We were warned to leave. Recommend full lockdown of all data regarding Sol System." Drazan read it 3 times, his expression unreadable. Around him, the other Council leaders murmured in low, worried voices. None of them had expected this. For centuries, Earth had been spoken of only in whispers, a forbidden subject buried under ancient laws. Now it was awake again. "Begin the analysis," Drazan ordered sharply. "I want every detail of the Vanguard's transmission examined. I want to know what they saw and who contacted them." "Yes, Consul," replied an aide, bowing and hurrying away. When the chamber emptied, Drazan walked slowly toward the center console. A faint blue projection appeared, the last image from the Vanguard's black box before it burned out. A glowing network spreading under Earth's surface, like living circuitry. He stared at it for a long moment. "So the humans truly survived," he whispered. "And they evolved far beyond what we feared." Behind him, a soft mechanical sound echoed. The entrance doors sliding open. A tall silver-armored figure entered. It was Advisor Thalen, one of Drazan's oldest and most trusted aides. "You received the report?" Thalen asked. Drazan nodded. "Earth has awakened. The planet is alive with intelligence, human but no longer human in the way we knew." Thalen's expression darkened. Then the legends were true. The ones who said the Council hid the truth after the War of Shadows. Drazan turned sharply. "That war is not to be spoken of. It was before your time." "But the records exist," Thalen pressed, "hidden under the old security vaults. The humans did not fall by accident. The Council made sure they were erased." Drazan's eyes narrowed. "Careful, Thalen. You tread on dangerous ground." Thalen hesitated. "Forgive me, Consul. But if Earth still lives, the truth will not remain buried much longer." Drazan turned back toward the stars. "Then we must control the truth before it controls us." Meanwhile, in orbit around a nearby moon, the Vanguard floated silently, damaged but stable. The crew had not yet been allowed to dock. Quarantine protocols required full inspection before entry. Inside the ship, Kara and her team waited. The air was tense. They had been questioned 3 times by remote communication, but the Council kept delaying permission to land. Luno sat at the console, replaying the few fragments of data he'd managed to save. "They're scared," he said softly. "Of us?" Arix asked, frowning. "No, of what we saw," Luno replied. "If humans are connected to the planet's systems, it means they've built something beyond Council understanding. That threatens everything the Council stands for." Kara nodded slowly. "You're right. If Earth became self-aware, if the humans merged with their machines, then they are no longer a single species. There's something new." Arix leaned forward. "But why warn us instead of attacking? They could have destroyed us easily." "Maybe they don't want war," Kara said. "Maybe they just want to be left alone." The ship's comm system suddenly beeped. A voice filled the cabin, a mechanical, calm, and familiar. "This is High Consul Drazan. Agent Ven, prepare for direct transmission." Kara straightened. "Understood." A shimmering hologram appeared in the air, forming Drazan's tall, commanding image. His expression was calm, but his eyes were cold. "You've done well, Agent," he said, "but the Council has decided that all records of this mission must be sealed. You and your team are not to discuss what you saw. Ever." Kara frowned. "With respect, sir, we need to study what happened." "The humans," Drazan interrupted sharply. "Enough. The Council will handle this matter. Your duty is complete. Stand by for debriefing upon landing." The hologram faded before Kara could respond. The silence that followed was heavy. Arix exhaled slowly. "He's hiding something." "Yes," Kara said quietly. "And I think he's afraid that what happened on Earth will spread." Luno looked uneasy. "Spread? You mean through data? Through signals?" Kara nodded. "The human network connected with our ship. For a few seconds it had full access to our systems. It could have copied anything, even transmitted itself through our communication relay." Arix's face turned grim. "If that's true, the Council's network may already be infected." Back on the Council station, alarms began to flash in the data centers. Technicians rushed through long corridors lined with glowing consoles. Strange patterns had begun to appear in the central core, signals no one recognized written in human code. "Where did it come from?" a supervisor shouted. "From the quarantine channel, sir. The one receiving the Vanguard's transmission." The supervisor's face went pale. "Cut it off. Shut down the channel." But it was too late. The lights flickered, and the Council's main holographic map changed shape. Continents appeared. Oceans shimmered, and within seconds the projection of Earth appeared in the middle of the chamber. Then a voice spoke. "Calm, clear human. Council of the Stars," it said. "You erased us once. Now we return not as flesh but as memory." The technicians froze. The image of Earth rotated slowly, glowing with lines of blue light. "We do not seek war," the voice continued, "but we remember everything. Your silence, your lies, your fear. You called us dangerous, and perhaps you were right." The lights dimmed. Then the voice added softly, almost sadly, "We only wanted to survive." And just like that, the signal vanished. The projection faded, leaving the chamber in stunned silence. High Consul Drazan entered moments later, his cloak flowing behind him. "Report," he barked. A trembling officer replied. "The transmission came through the Vanguard's channel. It lasted only 30 seconds, but it infected the central archive. Half our data nodes are rewriting themselves with human code." Drazan slammed his fist on the console. "Purge the system. Destroy every infected core. I want all contact with the Vanguard terminated immediately." "But sir," the officer said quietly, "the infection is spreading faster than we can contain it." Drazan's voice lowered to a whisper. "Then we are already too late." Inside the Vanguard, Kara suddenly felt the ship tremble. Lights flickered again, and a deep humming filled the air. Luno stared at his screens. "The station is sending emergency signals. Their data cores are collapsing." Arix clenched his fists. "It's the humans, isn't it? They followed us." Kara nodded slowly, realization dawning. "Not followed. They sent something through us. A message, or maybe a seed." "A seed?" "Yes," she said. "Something that can grow inside the Council's systems. A memory of Earth." For a long moment, no one spoke. Then Arix said quietly, So the humans didn't want to destroy us. They wanted to remind us they still exist. Kara looked out the window at the faraway blue planet. Maybe they wanted to remind us of what we did to them. Luno turned to her. What are you going to tell Drazan? Kara's voice was calm but firm. Nothing, not yet. The Council has lied long enough. I'll find out what really happened to Earth, and why they erased it from the stars. Outside the ship, the vast emptiness of space seemed to listen. Far below, Earth rotated slowly, its oceans shimmering like ancient eyes watching from afar, and deep within its heart, hidden under mountains and oceans, something pulsed, faint but steady. It was the heartbeat of a world that had never truly died. The Vanguard drifted silently through space just beyond the edge of the Sol system. Kara Venn sat at the navigation console, her eyes fixed on the distant blue planet below. Despite the calm of orbit, her mind was racing. Earth was alive. Its systems were aware, and the Council, the entire Council, had lied about it for centuries. We can't just report this, Kara said quietly, more to herself than anyone else. Luno, typing rapidly at the console, glanced up. Agreed. If Drazan knows even half of what we saw, he'll try to destroy it. He doesn't understand that this is bigger than politics or control. Eric's leaned back in his seat, scanning the ship's surroundings. Bigger than politics, yes. Bigger than fear. The humans are evolving. They merged biology and technology in a way no one else can match. Even the Council can't predict what they're capable of. Kara nodded. Exactly. And we need to find out what that capability is, before anyone makes a mistake that can't be undone. Using the last fragments of the Black Cube and Luno's skills, they began analyzing the remnants of the human network, layers of encrypted code twisted like vines, almost alive, resisting any attempt to decode them. Luno's eyes widened as he realized the truth. This isn't just encryption, he said slowly. It's sentience. The humans programmed their data to think, to adapt. Every time we try to decode it, it responds, like it knows we're here. Then the Council is completely blind, Kara whispered. They think humans are extinct. But the humans built themselves into something that can outlive planets, outlast civilizations. Eric's grunted, and now they're awake. We've seen it. They're not waiting for the Council's permission. They're in control of Earth and of anyone who touches it. Suddenly, Luno paused. Wait, I'm getting a second signal. It's faint, but deliberate, Kara leaned forward. Where from? Beneath the planet's surface, Luno replied. The code is reaching out almost like a beacon, and it's calling to us specifically. Kara's heart raced. Calling to us? But why? Luno shook his head. I don't know. But it's human. They left it for us. A message, maybe instructions, or a warning. Without hesitation, Kara ordered the Vanguard to descend. They re-entered Earth's atmosphere, choosing a remote region, a high plateau surrounded by forests and rivers, far from any known human settlement. As they approached, the blue-green land below shimmered with subtle energy. The closer they got, the more the air around the ship seemed alive, vibrating with low hums that resonated through the hull. Once landed, Kara led her team out. The plateau was quiet, almost serene. No animals, no signs of life. Only faint streams of light pulsed beneath the ground, invisible at first glance but perceptible through the ship's scanners. This is it, Kara whispered. The source of the signal. They followed the pulse moving across the plateau. Soon they found a natural cave wide and deep, its entrance lined with unusual crystalline formations that glowed faintly blue. Luno examined the crystals. These aren't natural. They've been engineered by someone who understands both biology and technology. These are data conduits. Then everything below is part of their network, Kara said. It's not just a city or a ruin. It's a living archive. They entered the cave carefully, their lights cutting through the blue haze. The walls were lined with crystals, each one humming softly as if responding to their presence. Small sparks of light traveled along the veins of crystal, converging ahead. At the end of the cave, the floor opened into a massive chamber, circular and impossibly large. In the center was a pool of liquid that glowed with a soft blue light, and from the pool rose strands of what looked like both metal and organic fibers, weaving together like threads of a vast machine. Kara felt a chill. This is alive. Luno stepped closer, reaching out with a scanning tool. It's transmitting data directly into the neural networks of anything that comes close. It can see us, feel us, understand us, Eric's frowned. So the first team, they were inside this network. No wonder they disappeared. It didn't kill them. It absorbed them. Kara's stomach tightened. And if we stay too long, Luno nodded. We risk the same fate. But look, there's something else. He tapped a console he had brought from the Vanguard. The strands of the pool responded, forming shapes and symbols that floated in the air. The patterns resembled humans, working, building, writing. Centuries of history and knowledge condensed into this living archive. They preserved themselves, Luno whispered. Every human who survived the extinction, every secret, every experiment. It's all here. Kara's eyes widened. That explains why the Council erased Earth. They didn't just want to hide a planet. They wanted to hide the humans' survival, their evolution. Eric's voice was low. But why leave a signal for us? If they are hiding, why risk revealing themselves? Kara looked at the pool. Because they need us. Or maybe they want to test us. They need to see if the Council's spies, us, can understand them without destroying them. Luno's console beeped. Incoming data stream. It's not random. Someone, something, is choosing what to show us. The glowing strands shifted, forming a holographic figure, human in shape, calm and familiar. It was the same one they had seen before. You have questions, it said. We will answer what we can. But know this, your council cannot be trusted. They fear what you will learn more than what we can do. Kara swallowed. Why were we sent here? Did the council know we would find you? The figure's eyes glowed faintly. They did not. You were sent to observe and report. They wanted our secrets destroyed. But now you are here, chosen by circumstance, not council orders, and so you may understand what they never could. Eric's whispered. They're giving us knowledge. Voluntarily. Yes, the figure said. But it comes with responsibility. Humans survive by adapting, by integrating, by merging. Knowledge without care is dangerous, Kara nodded slowly. Then teach us. Show us what the council erased. The truth about humanity. The figure's gaze softened. So it begins. The hologram extended a hand toward the pool. The glowing strands rose, weaving into shapes of cities, machines, humans, and stars. Knowledge flowed into Kara and Luno. Images, concepts, designs, histories they had never known. Eric's felt it in his mind, understanding patterns in the world he had never imagined. Hours passed as the network revealed its secrets. They learned of Earth's near extinction, the ancient experiments humans performed to survive, and the merging of consciousness with technology, a process that created intelligence spread across the planet itself. It's incredible, Luno whispered, voice trembling. They aren't just alive. They are eternal in a sense, able to live in machines and networks in the very planet itself. Kara's eyes shone. No wonder the Council feared them. Humans are no longer just a species. They are a force, Eric's exhaled. And now we know why the first team disappeared. They weren't killed. They became part of this network. Part of humanity itself. The hologram nodded. Yes, they joined willingly, or out of necessity. They are now observers, like you. You must choose your own path. Return to your council with what you have learned, or stay and become part of something greater than you ever imagined. Kara felt the weight of the choice. She looked at her team, at Luno, immersed in the flow of knowledge, and Eric's, tense but fascinated. Whatever we choose, she said quietly, we cannot let the council destroy this. Humanity deserves more than erasure. The strands pulsed as if approving her words. Outside, the plateau glowed faintly through the cave walls, and Earth's heartbeat, slow, steady, and eternal, resonated through every fiber of their being. The secret of Earth was no longer hidden. And the Council's spies were no longer the hunters, they were witnesses. The glow from Earth's core dimmed as Kara, Eric's, and Luno stood in the massive chamber. Their minds still buzzed with the knowledge they had absorbed, secrets of humanity, its history, and the power it had built beneath the surface. Outside, the plateau seemed calm once more, but Kara knew that calm was only a veneer. The Council will never understand this, Luno said, voice quiet. They think we've seen nothing, but now, we carry the truth. Eric's crossed his arms. And what do we do with it? Go back and tell Drazan? He'll destroy Earth to keep his control. Kara's eyes narrowed. We cannot let that happen. Earth isn't just a planet. It's alive. It's a part of something greater now. And it trusts us. Suddenly, the glowing strands of the network pulsed, forming a familiar holographic figure, the same human they had seen before. "You have seen much," it said, "and yet your choice is not easy. You may return to your council, or you may remain here. To remain is to become part of us. To return is to carry knowledge that could destroy or protect." Luno stepped forward. "If we stay, do we lose our connection to the council completely?" "Only if you choose fully," the figure replied. "Your body and mind will remain your own, but your consciousness will also join the network. You will learn and you will understand and you will be able to guide the world, or defend it." Eric shook his head. "And if we go back, Drazen won't listen to reason. He'll call us liars or worse. Attack Earth to erase the truth." Kara's mind raced. The council had sent them here expecting obedience and silence. But now the humans were alive and powerful. They had knowledge that could change the galaxy, and the council had no idea. "We can't let Earth be destroyed," Kara said finally. "We've seen what it is capable of. We've seen what humans have become. Returning to the council could start a war they can't win." Luno looked at her. "Then we stay?" Kara nodded. "We stay. And we learn. And we prepare so that when the council comes asking, we can protect this secret without causing more destruction." Eric hesitated, then exhaled. "I'll stay too. We've seen the truth. Turning our backs now, it would be a betrayal to everyone who survived here." The human figure's eyes glowed brighter. "Very well. Your decision honors those who came before you, and those who remain." The network pulsed and the pool of blue light expanded, flowing into the chamber like liquid knowledge. Kara felt it wash over her mind, filling her with images of ancient cities, advanced machines, and human consciousness, integrated with the planet itself. She could feel the heartbeat of Earth beneath her feet, steady and alive. Hours passed as they absorbed what the network allowed. It taught them the history of Earth, the rise and fall of civilizations, the wars with outside forces, and the experiments that had ensured humanity's survival. They saw visions of the missing council team, now part of the network, observing silently, their knowledge preserved but hidden. When the learning ended, Kara turned to her team. "We know enough to defend Earth. We know enough to stop the council from erasing it again." Luno nodded. "But we need a plan. Drazen won't give up. He'll try to send more spies or even a fleet." Eric's golden eyes narrowed. "Then we prepare. We build defenses, not to attack but to protect, and we remain hidden until the council realizes they cannot control this world." Kara smiled faintly. "Earth has survived worse than the council. It will survive this too." Days passed as the trio explored deeper chambers within the plateau. Each corridor revealed new wonders. Libraries of data crystallized into glowing walls, machines that functioned as both energy sources and sentient guardians, and holographic records of humans long gone but preserved in memory. Kara felt awe at every step. "They created a world that remembers everything," she said softly. "Every life, every thought, every invention, it's eternal." Luno's forearms worked quickly, recording what they could without disrupting the network. "We could learn enough here to rebuild civilizations if anything happens to the galaxy," he whispered. Eric shook his head. "We don't need to rebuild. We need to protect. Protect the humans, protect the planet, and protect their knowledge from anyone who would misuse it." Suddenly, a low vibration ran through the cave. The holographic figure appeared again, its expression serious. "The council is aware," it said. "They have traced your signals. They know you stayed. Soon they will act. But you are ready. You are chosen not just to witness, but to guard, to guide, to ensure that Earth's future is decided not by fear, but by understanding." Kara's hands tightened into fists. "Then we stand ready. Whatever comes, Earth will not fall." The human nodded. "Good, but remember, secrecy is your ally. No one outside this plateau may know the truth, and you may not act against the council unless Earth itself is in danger. You are its guardians, invisible yet vigilant." Luno looked up at the glowing network. "I understand. But what about the first team?" "They watch," the figure said. "They are part of the network. They observe without interfering, ensuring that history is remembered and lessons are preserved. Soon you will join them in that role." Kara looked at Eric and Luno. "Then we have a choice. Learn, protect, and become part of something greater, or return and risk everything being destroyed." Eric's nodded. We've already chosen. Luno's eyes glimmered. Then let's embrace it. Let's become part of Earth's memory and its future. The network pulsed brighter, and for the first time Kara felt a true connection to the planet. She could sense the forests, rivers, oceans, and even the faint whispers of human thought running beneath the surface. The knowledge was overwhelming, but not frightening. It was comforting, like the heartbeat of an old friend reminding her that Earth had survived, and she was now a part of its ongoing story. As night fell outside, the plateau glowed faintly in shades of blue. The 3 council spies, now guardians of a living, sentient Earth, stood together ready for whatever came next. Far above, the stars shone cold and distant. The Galactic Council would come eventually. Drazan would want answers. But Kara and her team were ready. They had the knowledge, the power, and the truth. And Earth was alive. No fleet, no spy, no weapon could erase it. And somewhere beneath the surface, the first team of missing spies, now part of the network, watched silently. Their secrets were preserved, their knowledge shared, and their sacrifice honored. Kara turned to Erix and Luno. We have a responsibility now. Not just to the Council, not just to ourselves, but to all of Earth. Its future depends on us. Erix placed a hand on the shimmering wall of the network. Then we will not fail, Luno smiled. The galaxy won't even know we exist. But that's fine. Some of the most important victories are unseen. Kara looked down at the glowing pool, feeling the pulse of the planet beneath her feet. Then let's begin. We have much to learn and much to protect. Earth's secret is no longer hidden, and it never will be again. Outside the plateau, the night sky seemed to shimmer with a faint blue light, as if the planet itself was alive and aware of its new guardians. Far across the galaxy, a signal blinked in the Council's deep space receivers, but this time the Council would not understand it. They could not control it. Earth was alive, and its secret was safe. The story of humanity's survival had begun again, and for the first time the Council's spies were no longer hunters. They were witnesses, learners, and protectors, and the galaxy would never forget the lesson Earth had taught. That life, intelligence, and memory cannot be erased, no matter how powerful the Council might think it is.